Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to Hot Point Sessions. Name's Jumanji, and today we got a real good special guest here, an artist, rising artist, DJ, and music educator.
Yes.
All kinds, everything. Wears a many hats. Amaya
Yes.
here from Chico.
I'm originally from Los Angeles, but living in Chico right now. Yeah.
Nice, nice. Welcome. Thanks for joining us today. We're going to talk a lot about music, your creative process, and everything. Everything you like about the music industry, music culture, whatever you got to tell us.
Yeah. Thank you for having me. I'm
Yeah,
excited.
welcome,
Love
welcome.
music.
This is Hot Point Sessions, where the conversations are hot and the interviews are on point. Tune in, turn up, and stay hot, everybody. Let's get into it. So let's take us all the way back to when you started your journey.
Yeah.
How'd you get into music? How did all this creativeness rise in you?
Uh-huh. So I originally started music when I was in band in middle school. So I remember being in fifth grade and one of the last weeks of school, one of the teachers was like, okay, raise your hand if you want to be in band next year. And I was like, oh, band. Like, I love music. Like, I raised my hand. So then they put me in band as an elective. And I loved it so much. My teacher, Mr. Segovia, shout out to him. He was so amazing. I feel like he helped foster a community in the band class. So I ended up sticking with it all years of middle school. So sixth, seventh, eighth grade. I was the snare drum.
Oh,
So
nice,
yeah,
nice,
I was
nice.
in drumline and we got to work with the band all together and it was cool because I feel like a lot of the students stayed, with the same
Yeah,
group. So I feel like we were a strong, tight knit community. So then,
crew right there.
yeah, exactly. It was really fun. Like till this day I have fond memories.
That's cool.
Yeah, so then, after that, I wasn't sure if I was gonna pursue music, being in band in high school. So I tried it out my first year, like freshman year over the summer, and I just didn't feel that same passion. Like the drumline director wasn't, as attentive as my middle school one, Mr. Segovia. So I decided to not stick with band. So I was kind of, out of music for high school. And then once I got into college, I started going to festivals.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
The festivals, all of
exactly.
it.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So my first one was Escape 2017.
Oh, that's
Yeah, it was so lit. And then my third festival was actually EDC. And that's kind of what introduced me to the path of, okay, I want to make music my career.
oh, nice.
Yeah.
That's when you took it into that next level
Mm-hmm.
through your
Yeah.
process.
Mm-hmm.
That's so funny. You're in band in middle school. I was in band in middle school
Okay.
too.
Okay.
Yeah, I
What?
played trumpet and trombone,
Oh, nice.
horns on the horns.
Yeah.
So you play. So you're playing drums.
Mm-hmm.
So can you play piano too? Because isn't it the same notes or the same type of like notes on there? Yeah.
Pillars, yeah. I definitely feel like I gravitated towards, like the keyboard and
Yeah.
just kind of like playing by ear and messing around through like YouTube tutorials. But I wouldn't consider myself like a professional piano player, but I do use it for like making music, like melodies and all
Yeah,
that.
nice. You use YouTube University. That's what
Yeah,
you use.
exactly.
You learn everything.
Yeah, that's how I like got into producing and like
Nice.
learning about DAWs and just learning how to actually make music. Cause, after returning from EDC and discovering that my passion was to make music, I was like, okay, this is interesting. This is cool. I can make music, but how am I gonna make music? Like, how can I make it a reality?
How to create your thoughts into everything, into the sound,
Exactly.
into the tracks you have. And
Mhm.
when did you first like what was your first track? When did you
Mhm.
first make something?
Yeah, my my first track, the name's kind of funny. It's called "Thinking About Money, Not Hoes." Yeah.
That's a good one. That's
Yeah, and it took me about 2 years to, like, actually, like, buy my laptop, buy equipment, and, learn how to produce and write the song and learn how to record the song. From 2018 to 2020 is when I released the track, and
nice.
during that whole, like, time frame, those 2 years, I stayed off of social media. The only social media I had at the time was Snapchat, just to stay connected with friends. But I took off my Instagram, I took off my Twitter, and I was just like, if I'm gonna be serious about this goal, like I have to put all my focus into this.
Put it all in there.
Yeah, yeah. So those 2 years, I was really just diving deep into understanding how to produce music,
Cool.
what it means to be an artist, and then coming up with my first song. And after those 2 years went by is when I kind of like reintroduced myself with a new username and just kind of introducing myself to the world again as a musician.
To the artist that you became from learning all of
Exactly.
that. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a big learning process. You're always gonna be learning something new and
Mhm.
picking up little things here and there, and then it just creates the songs or tracks or whatever that you have in your mind even better.
Oh, yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, thank
That's
you.
awesome.
So, yeah, it's been such a fun journey, and I still constantly feel like I'm learning every day. Like, there's always so much stuff that I don't know. So, I always love connecting with people who are either more knowledgeable than I am or, are new, but I can still learn from them because I feel like, just soaking in that knowledge is special.
Yeah, yeah. You always got to pick up some games, some here and there. Everybody, all the producers, everybody, rappers, whoever it is, DJs, everybody's got their own like little hidden skill that they could show you something different, and you could always pick up something different.
Yeah.
It's awesome. So, what music are you into right now? What are you? Because you're a DJ too, so
Yeah.
you're open format DJ, so you're pretty much everywhere. But what's your top right now? What are you bumping the most right?
Uh-huh. I definitely feel like I've been leaning towards like Afro house kind of right now. I feel like that's the
That's
trend
it.
too. Yeah, exactly. And like the songs I've been hearing, like on my Spotify playlist and then also songs that my friends share. I'm like, this is really good. And I notice it like leans towards more of that like Afro house, progressive trance. Like I feel like that's kind of what I've been leaning towards right
That's
now.
awesome. Yeah, that is big right now. And
Mhm.
it's super vibey too. It's like chill. Like you could dance
Uh-huh.
to it, or you could just chill and have like a drink to it. Yeah.
I actually went to Miami Music Week earlier this year in March.
Oh, March. Yeah.
Yeah, and I feel like it was just so vibrant with that
Yeah.
style of music, and I'm just like, I love this.
Yeah. Yeah. It gives a positive feeling, huh? It's like so
Mhm.
up and positive. I like that.
Yeah.
Who was the artist that you want to go see out there?
Uh,
Yeah, biggest your main person that you wanted to see.
yeah. We saw Carl Cox, and it was really cool because he did like a hybrid set.
Yeah,
So that was nice. It was like not only was he DJing, but it seemed like he was also producing and like blending those sounds into his set. So that was really special.
he does all that live stuff. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we saw Fisher at Club Space.
Oh,
Oh, it was so amazing. Club Space has been like on my bucket list
yeah,
and it's such a fun club.
that's awesome.
Yeah, it was crazy because literally like we're, getting to the club at like 12, 1 a.m. We get in there and we don't leave
You
too.
got there at 1?
Yeah.
That's too early. You gotta get there like at 6 in the
What?
morning.
Yeah, we left at 8 a.m. and by the time we were leaving, there was still a line of people to get in.
That's wild. Yeah, yeah. I heard some stories about that place. The lines like filled up like all the way till noon.
Oh yeah.
It's wild. That's awesome though. But
Yeah,
that's
it was
great. Like, did
fun.
you spin out there? Do anything
Not
creative
yet.
music out there? No.
Not yet. We just went to experience it. We went to Ultra. Yeah, and to check out again Club Space out there. But we're already like planning the next trip, Yeah. And then I do wanna, like spin out there eventually, just make
Yeah.
more connections out there.
Nice. That's awesome. Yeah, that's a
Yeah.
festival. What was your first festival that you ever attended?
Uh-huh. Yeah, my first festival was Escape 2017.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I knew it was pretty cool because my friends at the time, they're just like, yo, like this is happening. And I'm like, that looks really fun. And I was already into electronic music, like back in middle school, I was like in a shuffling crew.
Was that the moment when you're like, oh, I want to make this type of music?
I was more so like, oh, I want to like experience
Yeah.
like the festivals out there, but I didn't really know I wanted to make music. But it's interesting because I feel like when I look back at my life, I always had that creativity and I always kind of had like that entrepreneurial skill within me. And even at a young age, I was like, I want to make a makeup business because I was really into makeup at one point. Now I like don't even wear it all the time. Then I was like, maybe I should make a skincare business. But it wasn't until I went to EDC where I realized like, oh, you know what? Like I want to make music and I can make a business off of that. So that's kind of what led me there.
You had that business mindset. You wanted to do something awesome. And you
Oh,
wanted to do it.
exactly.
How did you? So right now you're based in Chico right now.
hmm
So you have like you got your radio hosting, and then what venues do you DJ out there? Like,
Yeah.
what's popping? What's popping in Chico? I haven't been out there in a while.
I would say not much.
Where are you spinning though?
The bear, and that's where it's
Bear,
popping.
yeah?
Yeah, exactly.
It's only popping because you're there.
Yep. Shout out to the bear.
Hey.
Yeah, so it's right next to Chico State. So I feel like it's kind of the place where all the college students go to because it's right next to the university, the dorms, exactly. And it has a pretty big dance floor.
Yeah.
There's an outside patio area, and they have a DJ who spins there outdoors too. That's more like chill vibes. But then when you go upstairs, that's where like the party's happening. Yeah. And that's where it's more open format because a lot of those students, they're not like festival goers. You know, some of them are, but like some of them want to hear more pop or hip hop. So I definitely like throw that in there too.
The top charts music.
Exactly, yeah.
You
But
have
then,
to, you have
of
to.
course, I throw in the undercuts. You know?
You have to make everybody read the crowd, make everybody dance, try to get everybody moving. I always look at the person that's not moving. I'm like, what song can I make him move to, or to make her move to? I was like, think this one, and then they start bobbing their head.
It's like a little childish way up there.
That's the best feeling when you have everybody dancing out there.
Yeah, and I definitely have learned through my experience of DJing, like, you know, when I'm mixing music, it's not just for me because there's been sets where I'm just playing like a bunch of underground music and like people are just kind of standing there. And then I had to realize, like, okay, like it's not just about me and the music I want to hear, but it's also what do they want to
What the
hear?
crowd wants.
Yeah, how can I curate to them? So I definitely have advanced as a DJ, just understanding more of reading a room.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm.
That's awesome. So so the community connection out there is it big right there?
Mm, I personally don't feel like it is. I feel like I'm trying to like amp it up because being from LA, I feel like the underground scene's huge out there. Like
Yeah, LA is
people,
super
yeah, they love raves. They love going to the undergrounds, the afters, you know. So like I come from that, and I feel like coming to Chico, it was a little different. I feel like I didn't find that same tight knit community around electronic music. But like there's like a hip hop scene, there's like a punk alternative rock scene, and then even country. But as far as electronic, I feel like that's kind of missing. So I've been trying to be like a champion of harnessing,
bringing that,
yeah, bringing in like an electronic dance movement out there.
bringing something new into a different like location. That's always tough. Right? You just got to push through and find. And there are people out there. You just got to push it through and then find that little collective, that community that'll be popping out.
Uh-huh. Yeah, we've been throwing events at the Washout, which is like this river place nearby, and people have been showing up, and it's funny because you know people go there and they don't know we're having an event there because it's open to the public,
Yeah.
and they actually like walk over to us like, "Yo, like we just came here to swim, but like this is so cool," you know?
They just found your event.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
what is your event promoting company, or what is your events called?
It's called Amayita Music and Event.
That music.
Yeah.
Based in Chico, right? Everybody go check that out.
Yeah.
In Chico.
Yeah, so we do like different types of events like weddings, school dances, proms, and then we also throw our own events too. And right now they've been free, but I've also been connecting with venue owners so that way I could potentially start throwing events at venues.
Yeah.
You know,
Find like your home base kind of
yeah,
your
exactly.
spot. That's awesome.
Definitely a process though.
Yeah, it is. That's a big process.
Yeah.
Especially in a place where the music that you want to be showing isn't that big. It's going to be a hard process, but I think you could do it.
Nah,
I can see you're very ambitious. You're very go-getter. I could feel that vibe from you. Shake that. How is it? So you tell us about the radio station.
Yeah.
How is it different from DJing at hosting a radio station than DJing at venues? What's the difference between that?
Uh-huh. I definitely feel like when I'm DJing on the radio, it's more personal and intimate because it's just me and I don't know who's listening. I don't know how many people are listening. I don't know like whoever's listening what type of music they're enjoying, you know? So I feel like it's definitely more of like, okay, what's my mood? What do I want to spin? But then when I'm playing live, it's more like I'm feeding off of the energy from the crowd, you know?
You could see them up front.
Exactly. I can read their facial expressions, their body movements. So I feel like there is that difference in hosting and also performing live. And I personally prefer performing live because I feel like I'm actually there with the people. And it's more of like a communal event. But I do like radio hosting too because, again, it feels personal.
Yeah, yeah. It's more intimate, like up front in person with the whole crowd and everybody. I like seeing like reactions of people's faces.
Yeah.
Especially when you're dropping good music and stuff. It's like
and I feel like their energy bounces off on me. Like when they're dancing, you're turning up. Like it makes me want to do the same.
Yeah, it makes you uppity, and then it makes you flow the DJ set into like more escalated. Like you could feed off of that and put more like faster music or something like that.
Could tell a journey, tell a story.
Yeah. Take them through a roller coaster. That's awesome. And then now, so through all of that right now, you have so many hats on. You do all kinds of stuff. I noticed or read that you're a music educator.
Yes.
So how did that fall in, and what are you educating people on?
Uh-huh. Yeah, so that actually kinda came to be I wouldn't say randomly, but it wasn't really like I didn't have plans for that. It kind of like happened. So I graduated from Cal State Northridge in 2022, and that was under child and adolescent development.
Oh, nice.
And yeah, and the reason how I even got into that field, like Alex is kind of like an accident because I went into that school studying business marketing, but I started flunking out of the math classes. Like I had to take like calculus and like I just wasn't doing well. So basically they told me like, "Hey, we suggest you change your major because if you flunk anymore, like you're going to get kicked out."
You're out.
Yeah. And I was dorming, so I was just like, "No, I can't get kicked out." So basically when I talked to my academic advisor, they suggested that I switch my major and I wanted to do psychology because I'm like, "Oh, the mind, I think that's so interesting." But because I didn't have the GPA, they told me I couldn't because it was impacted. So that's when they said, just go ahead and look through the catalog of majors and try to find a similar one. And we suggest you just pick that. And then I remember the advisor, she's like, maybe sociology. And I looked over sociology and I'm like, okay, the study of society, humans. I'm like, that sounds cool, but not really my cup of tea. So like as I'm going through it, I came across child and adolescent development. And it basically was like a similar description to psychology, but just for children and teens. So I was like, you know what? What if I study that? Maybe I can learn more about my own childhood. And then I have a lot of younger cousins. So I was like, maybe I'll be able to understand them a little better. So I started taking classes in that major and I honestly loved it. Like it was so interesting and fascinating. And I somehow ended up working at a school. So I thought that was really cool where I was able to take classes learning about child development and then also work with kiddos like at a school. And I started noticing they were overlapping. And I'm like, you know what? Kids are actually pretty cool, like they're chill.
You got it.
So yeah. So I got really into it and I just kind of aligned my work with working with kids and teens and I started teaching drumline.
Oh,
And
nice.
because I have a background in drumline, it just made sense. So a lot of my music education stems from teaching drumline and then also teaching like producing and DJing.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So everything kind of just combined together. Your music and then your school and
Yeah.
all the teaching of the kids just combined everything.
Yeah. Like if you would have asked me like 15 years ago, like, do you see yourself working with kids? Like I would have been like, no.
Yeah.
But now it's like, oh wow, like yeah, like I have, the knowledge
You
and that.
and you
Yeah.
enjoy it.
Exactly. Uh-huh. So that's how the music education came into my life.
Nice.
Mm.
And then you do all that in Chico too?
Yeah.
So is it just kids programs and stuff?
Mostly, yeah. Like I was at Chico Country Day School and I was doing their drumline program there. And then I was at Kai Music and Arts doing their music production lesson.
Oh, that's cool.
And now I just do like solo.
Okay.
Yeah, where like I do like one-on-one teachings.
Oh, nice.
Mhm.
Are you planning on like starting your own music education like business?
Maybe like in the future, like I've had ideas of opening up a school.
For like adults and everybody, like
I mean, I would
all
want to.
ages?
Yeah, I'd be open to that because I feel like there's also adults who, like, I've talked to people where they're like, "Oh, I wish I was in band," or "I wish I learned an instrument." And it's like, yeah, like there's nothing wrong with learning as you're older, but obviously when you're younger, it's a little easier to learn because your brain's
No, it's
developing
never too
fast.
late to learn
But it's
something
never
new.
too late, exactly. So I definitely would love to create a community center where people can learn about music and it's open to all ages.
That's awesome. That sounds great. That's sounds like a life gig right there. That's a good one right there. So from DJing at venues, hosting radio station, and educating kids, how do you balance all of this?
Oh,
How
man.
are you balancing it all?
Yeah. It feels like a lot sometimes, honestly. Like I definitely am still trying to find a schedule that I feel fits and is like optimal. Cause I do personally still struggle with trying to find that balance of am I spending enough time producing? Am I spending enough time practicing for my sets? And sometimes I feel like all over the place because I'm just like, like there's so much to do. But I definitely feel like what's helped me is writing down like a schedule. Like I'm definitely like a visual and kinesthetic learner, so I have to like see it, but then also do it. So when I write these things down in my planner, it helps me know like, okay, today's Monday, like this is what has to be done. Like, let me do an hour of producing, and then I know I have a set, in 2 weeks. I need to do 2 hours to practice my set. So I'm still trying to fine tune like the duration of how long I'm practicing and, finding time slots. But yeah, balancing it, I feel like it's like juggling, you know,
Yeah.
just trying my best.
Juggling. And then always it's always worse when like the unexpected happens. It's like,
Mhm.
oh man, my whole scheduled day messed up. That
Yeah. Those
that I'm like that
curveballs.
too. Yeah, the curveballs. I'm like that too. I always have to have my set schedule. Like
Mhm.
in the morning, do my workout, do whatever I can.
Mhm.
After work, do some music. But it's all on my phone, on my calendar.
That's smart.
Just my schedule. Stick to the routine, and then,
Yeah.
yeah. See, hopefully no curveballs.
Yeah.
That
And then when there is, like, gotta find a way to bounce back.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and you have to bounce back from the dips. You always got to bounce back.
Mhm.
What do you do to bounce back if something happens unexpectedly?
Yeah, usually I like to take a moment to just decompress because I feel like my brain can have just so many ideas at once.
Run it
Yeah,
everywhere. Yeah.
exactly. So sometimes I'm just like, no, like kind of like a form of meditation where I just sit there and I'm just like, I don't want to be on my screen right now. You know, I just want to sit here and just close my eyes or just like stare, into like the abyss.
Just
I
like
feel like that
clear your
helps me.
mind, just empty it
Yeah.
out.
And then after like, 15, 20 minutes of that, if I feel like more regulated, I'm like, okay, like now back to the game plan.
Yeah. Now time to get stuff done.
Yeah, and then working out does help too.
Oh,
Like, I feel like I've been, like, on and off with the gym since 2021, but this year I've actually been, like, super consistent with it. As
nice.
I'm, like, proud of myself, but, like, it helps with, like, regulating myself and just, again, following a routine.
Yeah, you gotta have that routine. I feel like a
Mhm.
lot of people, especially music producers that I've been like interviewing and stuff, they all always say the gym. They're all
Mhm.
like the gym gets me creative and like inspires me to do stuff. And like
Yes.
that's cool. It gives people energy, like working
Mhm.
out, clears the mind, and I feel like it opens up a lot of creativeness in their head, like while
Mhm.
they're working out.
Yeah,
If that makes
absolutely.
sense.
Yeah, because I feel like it doesn't make me feel idle, like, it makes me feel like I'm getting a release through my workout, and then once I'm done, like, I just feel amped up.
Yeah.
Ready to take on the world.
Energized, ready. Yeah, that's awesome.
Exactly.
Working out, clearing your mind, and creating everything. What was one of your biggest moments you remember,
Mhm.
like through music?
Yeah, I would say probably coming up with an idea for a new song.
Mm,
Yeah, because I feel like making music's so important as an artist, and especially if you wanna be, a touring DJ, playing festivals, like, making music, I feel is vital to that. So, sometimes, as I'm making a song or if I just finished a song, my mind goes to, "Okay, like, what's the next song that I'm gonna work
okay.
on?" So, sometimes, I reach a point where an idea comes in my mind, like, after I work out or just, like, after a meditation, and I'm like, "Okay, like, this is it, like, this is what I'm gonna start working on." So I feel like usually when I have that moment, it makes me feel, like, motivated to just start that song and then see it through.
To start that vision you're seeing.
Yeah.
See, that's awesome. So
Mhm.
what? How do you process that? Like when you vision like a song already, like are you envisioning like what type of song it is? Because you do multiple genres.
Mhm.
So do you like picture that a single genre, or are you like, oh, I can make it into this, or I can make it into that? Like,
Uh-huh.
how do you do?
A little bit of both, like, I feel like usually as far as recently, I have an idea in my mind, like, I'm like, "Okay, I wanna start making more club music because a lot of my music, because I love writing, feels more emotional, more slow paced, it's not really stuff that I would play at the club that people would dance to, it's more like listening in your headphones, cleaning the house, something like that, you know? So, recently I've had the idea of, okay, I wanna make more club music, so I go on my NPC and I start like coming with a more fast tempo beat, like past 125,
Okay.
And then with that, I feel I'm able to just come up with a cool synth sound, the beat, the kick, hats, and then that's when I start writing lyrics to it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so usually I start
So
with the
you
beat
start with the
first.
beat. You
Mhm.
start with like a melody or like the main chorus or chords, everything, and then you do lyrics after, huh?
Mhm.
That's awesome. Because I know a lot of people that do lyrics first, which is hard for me. Lyrics
Yeah.
first and then trying to find the beat. But
Mhm.
you do the same thing I do too.
Yeah.
Start at the beat and then write the lyrics and then have combined everything.
Because I feel like the beat kinda helps guide the lyrics, like,
Yes, yes.
the lyrics, like, I can write about anything, like, I love writing about my experiences, what I've gone through, just what's around me. So I feel like the beat is really what's carrying the energy of the song. Because you can have, like, a fun beat with sad lyrics, but then you can also have a fun beat with happy lyrics. So that's why I feel like the beat kind of, like, allows me to flow into the lyrics of, okay, what's this song gonna be about?
What's the vibe about this beat?
Mhm.
What's gonna come out of it?
Yeah, you got it.
Yeah. What's your favorite genre to produce right now?
Mhm.
What's popping for you?
I definitely would say tech house.
Is it
I
tech
love
house?
it. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Because I feel like you can blend it into so many different styles of sets. You know, like I like techno too, but I just feel like I gravitate towards like those like tech sounds, like
Mhm.
the wah, wah, you know, those
Oh
weird
yeah.
sounds. But then the beat is like that 4x4,
Oh yeah.
like house
Like
beats.
the classic
Yeah,
house beat. Yeah.
exactly. So, and then I also love like those like retro sounds, like. I notice I gravitate towards like soulful house music where you have like a nice house beat, but then you have like someone like preaching over the track, you know, or like just kind of saying the same word, but it sounds good.
Yeah.
So I feel like I definitely have been leaning towards that where I want to make like a nice soothing beat or like if it's, you know, up tempo, fun, but then the lyrics also kind of like have like this tech house underground vibe to it.
For that beat on the bottom.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, one of my songs called Underground Jungle, it definitely has that vibe
Yeah.
to it. Yeah. And like the lyrics are like kind of like fun and like you hear animal sounds in it.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
cool. That's cool. And you're doing everything yourself, huh?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. And I feel like that can feel overwhelming
Oh
sometimes,
yeah.
you know? But I think just as I like develop more into my artistry, I feel like I've gotten better with my process of production. Like I finish songs faster now. I have a better understanding of how I have my process of making a song. So I feel like that has helped me too, where I don't feel as overwhelmed. And then my partner Christian too, he's been a big help too with my music career. So definitely have to shout him out
Nice.
because yeah, he helps me a lot and I feel like he's like my teammate, you know?
Oh yeah.
So and then
Your
I honestly think
support.
through yeah, when I look at, like, bigger artists, because I like to study artists, it's like, okay, if I wanna be here playing, you know, Ultra and EDC, like, let me look at other artists who've played these
Oh yeah.
places, you know? And I notice they have teams, you know? So I'm like, I can't do everything on my own, like, I have to make connections, and I have to find ways where I can feel supported by people who are also supporting the journey.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
that's been kind of, like, where I'm at too, like, building a team.
Yeah, you have to have a team, especially getting up to that big stages like that. And
Mhm.
also finding the right people that support you and then like push you through like everything. You gotta have that, especially in this industry.
Yeah,
That's hard.
absolutely. My partner Christian, sometimes he's the one who encourages me, like, I think you should throw that song in your set.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't know. And he's like, just put it in your set. And I put it and I'm like, okay, thank God, you know?
He's pushing you.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's always good to also it's good to have like somebody there like by your side with like new ears to like
Mhm.
hear it differently or interpret like what they're feeling or hearing. What if it comes to DJing or producing your song, like they're there to like give you like criticism or
Yeah.
like show you how they're feeling, you know?
Uh-huh.
It's always good.
I feel like that's super important because we can get like ear blindness sometimes, you
Yes.
know, where we listen to our songs so much and we're just like, I don't know if something needs to be added, something needs to be removed or changed.
Yeah.
And there's been times where he's like, I think you can EQ that a little more, you know? And then I do it and I'm like, that actually sounds better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's yeah, you really if that repetitive will block out some noises that you won't even hear like after a while.
Yeah.
That's why it's good to take a lot of breaks.
Oh, yeah.
Uh, now, are you working on music every day, every single
Mhm.
day?
Mostly, I'm trying to get to that point
Mm.
where I feel like I'm working on it every day because my biggest thing that I feel prevents me from working on it every day is because I'm like focused on other projects too. You know, I'm like making flyers, I'm trying to market, you know, I'm like just doing other stuff, practicing my DJ sets. And I just feel like I want to get to a point where it's like, okay, at least 30 minutes, you know, like if I can, you know, spend an hour doing something on my phone, you know, working on a flyer, then I can spend 15, 30 minutes just working on a track. So I want to get better with that because I feel like once I, you know, work on my music, up my laptop, like I want to be on there for hours. So I feel like it's also a regulation
Yeah.
thing too, you know?
That's how I am. Like once usually I make music in the morning, and then
Mhm,
once I'm locked in, like
mhm.
I'm locked in. I'm like, dang, I've been here for 3 hours. Like I gotta take a break, and then I'll be going back to listening to the song. Some parts is like, sounds bad. It's like good I took a break. I had to take a break, but that's good though. Yeah.
Mhm.
especially you doing all kinds of stuff, balancing it all out. That's
Yeah, that's why I feel like once I like, dive into having a more solidified schedule,
mm,
I definitely feel like I'll be elevating more because there are days where sometimes I feel like, okay, like I'm not like managing my time in a way where I'm focusing on everything, that I need to in a way that I feel is effective. Like sometimes I feel like it's like unbalanced. So
yeah.
I definitely want to make it a goal, not 2026, but starting today, where it's like I can make music 30 minutes a day and just continue on with everything else I need to do.
Start it now.
Yeah, yeah.
That's funny. So for being in an industry where a lot of male DJs and artists and stuff, how do you think what is it? We'll cut this part out. What so women in music, what is how's your experience has been in the industry and DJing being a woman in it?
Yeah, I love that you brought that up because it's something I definitely am mindful of every day. Like every time I, am playing at my residency or I go to new venues and start playing, I feel like there is a slight difference sometimes. Like I notice when people talk to me, like sometimes they talk to me from a perspective as if I don't know about music or producing, and maybe because I'm a woman, So I definitely feel like when it comes to being a woman in the music space, it's more so we're not just here to look pretty and entertain, but we also can be behind the scenes and understand like the technicalities of music.
Yeah.
Uh and I've also had like a lot of positive experience being a woman. Like I've had people come up to me and they're like, it's so nice seeing, a woman up there and then like a black woman up there, and it's like I want to be that representation because a lot of times when I look in the dance space and I see like these really popular DJs that I even admire, a lot of times they're like white males. And there's, nothing wrong with that. I just want to show that it's more than that too. Like you can be like an Afro Latina making music, you can be a female, you can be whatever, making music, but I just want to be that representation because there might be other people out there younger than me who look like me, who see me on stage and they're like, wow, like if she's doing it, then I can do it too.
Yeah. That's awesome. They could look up to you and then show that they could like if they want to do it, they could do it. Yeah.
Yeah, because I feel like we need diversity in these spaces, inclusivity. And yeah, like I feel like there are a lot of males in the dance space, but there's enough room for women too. So I'm happy to be like in that space where I can again represent that. Like it makes me feel proud.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Mhm.
That's good. Good good. That's a lot. I think here in Sacramento there's I feel like there's more or a lot more women artists rising now. Like there's a lot of DJs and artists that are coming out and showing that they can do it.
Yeah.
I feel like sometimes like males will have that doubt, like, oh, she doesn't know what she's doing. But you definitely doing all kinds of stuff. Like a lot of people can't even do one thing. You're over here doing everything, you know, putting
Thank
that
you.
perspective to everybody.
Yeah, trying to take it all
Yeah.
away.
Yeah. And I'm sure all the kids that you educate and everything look up to you and actually like get inspired and be like, I want to be like that one time.
Ah, thank
Sometime.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've had like some of my drumline students. They're like, I want to make music. I had one student specifically. He's like, I love Kendrick Lamar. Like, I want to make music like him. I'm like, you can. You need to do
Yeah, yeah, you can do
it.
anything. That's awesome. Have you showed your class or the students any of your like electronic music and stuff? Like,
Uh, I don't think I've showed them my music. Maybe I have, but I let them use my controller.
oh yeah,
Yeah, yeah, I let them mess around with the controller and they love it. They're like pressing the siren button,
so
like mixing the disc. So yeah, it definitely is cool because it's like even if they, don't pursue music professionally, like I still want it to be something positive for them where they
yeah,
can look back like, oh, music had a positive influence in my life.
good memory.
Yeah.
I feel like good memories always come from music. It's
Mhm.
like whether you're at a festival, concert, or even just like hanging out like at a bar and like a song comes on and you're just like reminded of like something good.
So, wow, sound the nostalgia hit.
You're like, ah, that's the best. And I'm sure those kids will, yeah, they won't forget. Even if they don't get into music, they'll always have that memory of it.
Yeah.
And also I think just teaching kids how to be on beat too.
Yeah.
You know,
Big.
because I see some people. I mean, not to clown or hate, but
Uh-huh.
some people don't got rhythm, man.
Yeah.
You know, it's good to teach people rhythm. Yeah.
Exactly. Get them grooving.
Yes, yes. That is funny. And then so now with all that you're doing, you're promoting events and all this. What are some next shows you got coming up?
Mhm.
What do you have planned?
Yeah, I have my next San Francisco booking that's going to be this month, Friday the 26th. And that's gonna be my second ever SF show. My first one was like literally 2 weeks ago. Yeah, it's gonna be same location, Buzzworks in San Francisco. And the lineup I was a part of was like a all female lineup, so that was really cool too, because that ties into just women being on the rise in the industry and just showing that we're capable. So I have SF on the 26th, which is a Friday, and then I'm actually doing a silent disco in Sacramento at Flamingo House, and that's going to be Sunday the 21st.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. And then I have my residencies every Thursdays and Saturdays at the Bear in Chico. And then I have some weddings coming up too. Like I have a wedding this upcoming Saturday and then a wedding next Saturday on the 20th.
Nice. How you like DJing weddings? How's that?
I do.
How's that process?
Uh-huh.
I've DJed a couple of them, but I haven't done it in a while.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that?
Uh-huh.
How's that your process of finding music, curating for because it's their big day, so you're curating for them. Like, how do you process that?
Yeah. So one thing I love to do is I create a private SoundCloud playlist and then I title it, their wedding playlist with the bride and groom's name or, people getting married. And with that, I do like a consultation call with them before, everything. And that's when I get their genres of music, like who are some artists you like. I also get like a no playlist, like who are artists you don't want to hear, or songs you don't want to hear. Because there's been times where one
Like,
with Price like specifically,
Yeah.
she's like, okay, I want country music. So I made a playlist filled with country music, and then I added Taylor Swift in there because I'm like, she's a country artist. But then when I was playing it, one of the artists was like, or not one of the artists, one of the bridesmaid was like, no, the bride doesn't like Taylor Swift. You have so much to go. I hurry up and mixed it up.
Man, that is funny.
Yeah.
That's good though. I've never heard of that. Making a list of songs that they don't want. That's actually a good thing. You don't want to be up there like doing a pullback, just oh sorry. That's funny.
Yeah.
When the wedding people come hit you up for DJing and stuff, do you like tell them like what genres? How do you tell them like
Yeah. So I have
what's their vibe?
Yeah, exactly. I have like different packages, and I usually love to understand their vision. Like I've watched like videos on sales and everything. And one thing I've learned is, when you're pitching your services, you don't want to talk so much about what you offer and what you have, but you want to more so get information from them and basically use their answer to repackage it and
Use their vision, what they want.
Yeah, use their vision, what they want, and kind of like provide your offers to them with what they want.
Yeah. How you can make that experience come to true. Come alive.
Exactly. Yeah. So usually when I'm working with the people, the brides, grooms, all them, I like to ask them, okay, so like, what do you want? Do you want it to be more of like a dancing party? Do you want it to be more laid back? Because there's been weddings where people aren't really dancing, but that's not the style of the wedding. It's more like they're just kind of, kicking back, relaxing, and it's more like bluegrass, yeah, country, jazz sometimes. Versus other weddings, they're more like, no, we want like the Lil Johns, the Get Low.
Oh, they wanna get turned.
Exactly.
That's funny.
So I like to gauge the couple and just, try to figure out the music that I'm gonna play for them and make sure that it's music that they enjoy. And then one cool thing I do too is I do a Google Forms link. And with that, they're able to send it out to their guests and input song requests.
Oh yeah.
So that way I have their song requests
They
beforehand.
could submit what everybody wants. That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
From weddings all throughout Northern California, you're bouncing around.
Yeah, a lot of them have been, yeah, like in Woodland, Davis, Sacramento, Chico. So yeah, like the Northern California area. I haven't done any SoCal weddings yet.
No. What about SoCal events? Nothing yet?
I had my first LA show in January.
Oh, nice.
That was actually one of my goals for this year. I was like, okay, I want to release more music, of course, but then also have a show in LA and have a show in the Bay Area. and I did my show in LA in January, and that was through the grace of my friend. His DJ name's Kamira, so check him out too. He invited me on stage to do a back to back with him, and that was at Los Globos. So that was really
That's
fun.
cool.
Yeah, so I did that, and then I had my first SF show like 2 weeks ago.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
And then you're going back to SF. That's awesome.
Yeah,
For,
yeah. And then now with the weddings, we just did a wedding expo yesterday.
Mm.
So I got to pitch to a bunch of potential clients. Yeah.
handing out your business cards. That's
Stop,
cool.
get some candy, stop by the booth.
Yeah. Got to get ready for wedding season next year.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So apart from weddings and stuff, do you like throwing or like for weddings too and your like regular shows at venues, you like throwing in your own music in there?
I don't do it for weddings just because I'm not sure how they'll receive it. Like they'll be like, "What's this?" But as far as other shows, I definitely make an effort to throw in my music, especially if I'm playing like at a new venue.
Yeah.
I definitely throw in my tracks because I feel like okay, that's how I'm getting my voice out there and people hear my music. And then another thing too is I know no one else is going to be playing that. So it kind of like adds a uniqueness to my set.
Yeah, that's awesome. Always showing a different sound. It's always good. And then especially people like it, then they're gonna hop right onto your music.
It's just
See
jam
me,
it.
yeah. Be all up in your music and everything. That's awesome. And then we'll cut this out. What did you ask about? You wanted to talk about?
Oh yeah, we can talk about more like just I guess like Sacramento.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Scene. Okay, so from San Francisco to Sac to Chico and everywhere in between, what's your top right now? You like Sacramento?
I do love Sacramento. Yeah. I feel like I mean, coming from this city, I feel like Sacramento has such like a city vibe, but like there's so much to do. There's eateries, there's venues, there's lots of people and lots of different types of people. So I really love that. And I just want to get more connected with the Sacramento scene. And because it's close to Chico, it's only like an hour and a half. I feel like it'd be nice to connect more with the scene out there because I do feel like there's more DJs and artists in Sacramento, but I'm sure because it's a bigger space versus Chico. But yeah, I love
So it's closest biggest city to Chico.
exactly.
And there's a lot of venues out here too. So you have Flamingo House coming up. Have you DJ'd anywhere else in Sac?
Uh-huh. Yeah, I've DJ'd at Flamingo House a few times for the Meraki events, and then I'm gonna
Shout out Lexi.
Yeah, shout out to Lexi. Exactly, she's so cool. And then with Chango, I'm planning to do the silent disco with him this month. And then I've DJ'd at Faces with the Wood Square Collective. Shout out to Wood Square. And then Mangoes. Well, that was with Caesar. So.
Oh, nice. Shout out Julian.
Yeah, exactly.
Which one's your favorite so far?
So far, that's a great question.
Which one do you want to keep going back to?
Yeah, I mean, I like Flamingo House.
Right.
I feel like it's a nice, fun vibe. I feel like when they have the decorations, it just makes it like an ambience that you want to like be a part of.
Brings in an atmosphere like
Yeah.
party and like good feel good vibes.
I've also played at Jets too, so that was nice. I really like the CDs that they had in the back. But yeah, just get more connected with different venues in SAC. And then SF, I heard of like venues like Folsom, 1015.
That's a good spot.
So I want to get more connected with the SF scene too, Bay Area.
Yeah. I think you're doing great. I think you'll get picked up a lot. You have a wide range of music. You're open format and you produce a wide range of music. So I think you could get plugged in here, plugged in there. Yeah, it'll be good. What are some venues or locations that you want to play, like really want to be in?
Yeah, I would say
for right now. Because I know the dream's big. So we'll talk about the big dream in a little bit. But for right now, where do you want to like be in? Right?
I guess right now, again, like 1015 Folsom, DNA Lounge is another good one I've heard of. Butter, getting more connected with the Bay scene because I feel like, I've made a few connections in SAC and I want to continue growing there, My goal in Chico is to start throwing my own events. So as far as venues, I'm definitely looking more into playing like in the Bay Area because again, I feel like it's also rich with music and culture. Yeah. So I want to get my name more out there.
Yeah. You have to, and then being in the community, I feel like everyone will just support everybody. Like once you have that connection, then they'll just like keep hitting you up, and, and then they'll like expand your portfolio and you'll be DJing over here and over there.
Yeah, that's how it was with Buzzworks. Amelia is actually the girl who introduced me to the lineup, and I met her through a house event in Chico. We were both playing at House Revolution, and she's like, "Oh yeah, like I'll plug you with some Bay Area shows." And then once the time was right, she plugged me with Buzzworks, and now, yeah, exactly. Now she's like, "Well, I want you on the next one." So, like you said, I feel like having those connections and then being a part of the space, it's like people are eager to support each other.
Yeah.
So that's also a good feeling to
Yeah.
being a part of a space that feels supportive.
Yeah, that support always has to be there, and I feel like in Sacramento it's really big too, because like every venue, all the DJs, they all like are all connected and networked. Like, oh, you know this guy, I know that guy. Like, it's all in Sacramento. It's everybody knows everybody,
Yeah.
and I feel like the scene is just getting bigger and big. And then they just added a big venue. So let's talk about some big venues now. So they just added Channel, was it 24, I think, the big concert hall venue in Sacramento.
Wow, okay.
So I'm actually going to a show there in November, but it's like they do like live music and then DJ stuff.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
So talking about big stages, what's one big stage that you have in your mind that you want to be up there?
Yeah, I would have to say EDC.
Is it EDC?
Yeah, because that's like what introduced me to music, and I didn't mention this earlier, but the DJ Getter, I'm not sure if but it was Getter's set.
He's coming back.
Is he? He does like live streams now. So cool.
He's getting back. That's funny.
Yeah, he's actually the one who I saw his set. And it was one of the last sets. It was like 6, 7 a.m., like a sunrise set.
Oh, that's awesome.
And I just remember in that moment, he was giving a speech. And he's like, "Oh, I might be up here on stage, but I'm no different from you all. I'm just here doing what I love, playing music." And then he went a little into, him playing music with his dad in his garage like years ago. And in that moment, I was just soaking it all in, like all his words. And I was just thinking to myself, like, wow, like this is really special. Like he's just sharing what he's passionate about. And in that moment, I didn't realize that, oh, music's my calling, music is my passion. But I just was taking in the words that he was saying. And it wasn't until the following week when I got home from EDC, I woke up and it was really like a revelation. Like the first thought, like it hit me like a train. It was just like music, music. So yeah, since then, I've just been on the journey.
That's cool. It it woken up your creative musician instincts or something, and that's cool. And ever since, he's just been music on there. Wow.
Yeah, EDC.
So the EDC, what stage on the EDC though?
Ooh, the main stage would be cool.
The
That or
kinetic feel.
because I like that.
I like Circuit Grounds would be
Oh,
the one.
A neon garden.
That was
Oh.
the dome. Yeah, so when you said Getter were like when he told that story and everything, and that's kind of funny because what we were just talking about, you like making house music and everything. Getter is a way far away from house. It's real hard dubstep.
Yeah.
So did you start it out with dubstep?
I mean, electronic music, I did start off listening to dubstep. Yeah, like I was big on Flux Pavilion, Skrillex, Dr. P, like OG.
I did not expect that. Oh my god.
Yeah, that's how I like started listening to electronic. And then like I also like Big Room, like some of Guetta's, Afrojack, some of Steve Aoki's old stuff.
Oh yeah. The golden era EDM.
It wasn't until like I started going to like the undergrounds and the afters in LA, like after I was already into the Sesame
See the different side of it.
Yeah, when I started getting introduced to like house music and techno, and I'm like, I really like this, I always like to say I feel like techno is for the mind, dubstep is for the body, and house is for the soul.
Oh, that's good saying there.
Uh,
Yeah, they really hit all those parts too. They do. Yeah, seeing the difference from like main stage EDM like to the underground scene is way different. The vibes are different, crowds different. I feel like a lot of people like in the underground scene, like knowing about the music, like I feel like they want to be there because they don't want to be like in the big like I guess like the popular area, they don't want to be seen up there. That's funny.
Yeah, that definitely makes sense. I feel like, yeah, when you go to like the underground stage, like it's nice because you hear that underground music. Because sometimes it's like you don't want to hear the mainstream music. Like we hear it enough on the radio, out and about in stores. So it's nice to get like that underground feel. but then you have people who, who do want to hear mainstream, or maybe you're in a mood to hear like more popular music, so then you go to the main stage. So I love how festivals are diverse like that.
Oh yeah, they got all the different stages. They got like the
Mm.
main stage, of course, with the big headliners, and then they got like the little stages. I like always going to the little stages and just seeing like upcoming DJs like playing their tunes and stuff. I always like listening to like just new stuff. I rather listen to a hour set of DJ, like an hour set of music that I've never heard before, than go to like a big headline show.
Yeah.
But you can still have a great time at the headline show. They're always
Uh-huh.
gonna be fun.
And I feel like because you DJ and produce too, so I feel like naturally you're probably more gravitated towards new sounds
Yeah,
because like
stuff.
in your mind you're already like creating
Yeah,
stuff, versus like people who are more passive listeners, they want to hear just what they know.
yeah, yeah. They want to be in their comfort zone and like be like, oh, I want to hear the music. I want to hear. Going back to like all your events and stuff, your weddings and stuff, and everybody. Like, don't get me wrong, everybody has their own style, their own love of music.
Uh,
It just hits everybody different.
yeah,
That-
absolutely.
I know. That's so funny though, how dubstep was like
Yeah.
your first kind of EDM genre.
I know. And now I'm like, I mean, I would say I do have some dubstep songs, but I didn't produce them. I sing on them. Like, shout out to Tone Down. He's made Bass in My Face. And we actually just came out with the VIP version of it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So I did the vocals on it and he produced the beat and it's like dubstep and it sounds good. I like it. And then one of my other singles, Lux Bay, that one I did produce, and that's more like drum and bass with me singing on it. But then it does have a breakdown that's kind of like wonky and dubstep.
That's cool. That's cool. So you like do you like singing more or actually making the beat more?
Ah, that's a great question. I feel like, yeah, I feel like it depends on my mood because I love producing, but there are times where sometimes I feel stuck. Like I feel like
Kind of like writer's block.
yeah,
It's like
I feel like a producer's block where I feel like, okay, like, does this need like another instrument added to it? Or like, I'm not always like 100% sure, like, okay, is this the sound that I want to go for? So I feel like with producing, I'm more of like, like, I feel motivated. I'm like, okay, this sounds good. Other times I'm like, I don't know how good this sounds.
you're a
But
little
with writing,
hesitant sometimes
yeah.
because there's so much you could add on producing.
Exactly. Like ear candy, risers, there's so much, it's like endless. Like it's like you can like be working on a song forever.
How you can.
Yeah. So I feel like with the writing, that comes a little more naturally and easy for me. Like I can write a song in like a day if I really just sat down and wanted to. So I feel like the writing and the singing that kind of comes more naturally for me versus the producing. I feel like I have to put a little more mental energy into that.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's a lot more technicality into it.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Because like with breakdowns and stuff, like you don't want it to just be the same basic beat the whole
Yeah.
time. Like it can be, but like a lot of times in electronic music, there's like so much dynamics to it. So I feel like tweaking out on those little different
Yeah.
parts of the song, I definitely zone into that. And I feel like that also ties into like when I'm making music, like I'm like, okay, like 30 minutes, but then 30 minutes turns into like 3 hours, like you
Yeah.
said. So trying to fine tune where it's like, okay, 30 minutes. And if I have to do something else, then close my laptop after that. So yeah.
Like take a break.
Yeah. That's because then the ear fatigue too, you're listening to the same beat and then, you take a break, you come back to it and you're like, I was listening to that for too long.
It sounds completely different. It's peaking now. Like that's how I am. I know I'm like a perfectionist. I'm like I gotta go back when I finish the song. I gotta go back to it like a week later. I was
Yeah.
like, sometimes I'll redo the whole thing. I'm like, I did not like this. I'll keep like one sound and be like, all right, we'll rebuild this.
Serious will drop.
Yeah. That's funny. Well, with all those genres and everything, do you have a song coming out soon?
I do, yeah. So I'm still deciding on the name.
Mhm.
Kind of like in the last final stretch of, mixing it. And I would say this song that I have coming up, it's a little different because I feel like naturally I like to make like hip hop beats, but because I want to make more club music, I've been trying to like add breakdowns that have like a more upbeat tempo. So with this next song that I have coming out, it has like a hip hop beat in the beginning. And then my vocals are a little more like sultry. Like I feel like it's kind of a love song, but it's interesting because when I started writing this song, I started writing it just about like all the love emotions I had in me, and I started thinking about my partner. But then as I was writing it, I also started thinking about like the love from like God and the universe and just how like the unwavering faith that, I feel God provides to us when you just really like clutch onto that, or lean onto that. I feel like with that, the song started taking a turn to like kind of something like a gospel song, low key, But the lyrics are really nice. Like I was listening to it yesterday, working on it before I went to bed, and like I was getting emotional. I'm like, this is so good. But it's interesting because it goes from like a hip hop beat with like love lyrics to then like the middle end of the song, it like picks up to like kind of like a deep minimal house type
Oh,
of vibe.
that's
Yeah,
cool.
yeah.
That's an interesting one.
Uh-huh. So I'm probably gonna come out with that one not this month in October because I have another song that's actually like a deep minimal house song, and that one doesn't have any lyrics. I'm planning to come out with that one this month, and that one's called Chicks and Giggles.
Singing
Yeah, that Chicks and Giggles. So that will be here in September, and then next month will be the song that I'm finishing up, and
with the vocals.
yeah, and I'm still coming up with a name.
So that one sounds like a real emotional roller coaster.
Yes, yes.
Love. So is it a love song or
I would
he
say
say
so.
so?
Which is interesting because a lot of my old music, it's not really love songs. It's just kind of like more independent, boss girl energy, sassy. But like I've been just trying to experiment and, take a turn with my writing and also be more vulnerable. Cause I'm like, if I'm an artist, like I want to be vulnerable in my music. And I feel like my music kind of allows me to be that. Cause I like to also like be strong. And like when I'm posting online, I'm very mindful of what I post because I know people are watching. So with my music, I feel like, okay, I can like completely be myself in that. So when I share that, it's like, part of myself is out in the world.
Do you get like when you're dropping music, do you get like anxious or like nervous a little?
Yeah, I get a little kind of like nervous, like shy. Like
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my gosh, like they're gonna listen to like I wonder what they're
Like
gonna
my
think.
voice or something?
Yeah, exactly like my voice. And like I feel like I've had to grow into my voice. Like I've never had like professional singing or like coaching on my voice. So there are times where I'm like, I'm a little out of key, but I'm like, it's okay. Like I'm still like
So
being personable and like being myself. And actually at the wedding expo that I was at yesterday, I talked to another musician. She was much older than I was, but she had so much knowledge. And, she was like, oh, yeah, I used to be a singer, sang for years, but I don't think I sing that well. And I started laughing because I was like, oh, I sing too, but I don't think I sing that well either. And she's like, you know what? It's not about the keys, the notes that you're hitting. It's about the energy.
yeah.
And I'm like, okay, I vibe with that. Because when I do listen to my music, I'm like, even though I feel like I don't have like this great, like, wow, like, amazing Beyonce voice, it's like I still feel the passion in my voice, and I feel like that's what matters, and that's kind of what keeps me going where I'm, like, continuing to hop on the mic and write lyrics,
Yeah.
you know?
That emotion within you, like your lyrics or your tone, everything that makes people feel it in their heart as what
Yeah.
matters.
Uh-huh, so
That's
that's been huge for
yeah.
me.
That's cool. That's a good way to say it too. It doesn't matter if how how it sounds or anything. Just put be yourself and put it out there. Put out what you're creating, what you're making. It's
Exactly.
always that's what it's about. Just about being yourself and having fun with it.
Yeah.
And
And I love, like, singing, like, ever since I was little, I've always loved, like, oh my gosh, me and my cousins, we used to play American Idol. Yeah. And we had like little microphones that they would give out at like McDonald's and the Happy Meal toys. Yeah, and I'd like go on my bed and I'd start singing. And then my cousin, Melanie, shout out to her too. She'd be like, wait, that actually sounded kind of good.
you should be a singer. That's great. That's cool.
Yeah, so I feel like it's always been there when I like reflect back on my life. And now as an adult, it's just kind of like full circle moment.
Music's always been there, huh? That's
Mm-hmm.
cool. No, that's awesome. Everything you talked about today, I feel like you have real passion into your music and you're very ambitious and I feel like your vision that you see where your music is heading and what like you want to do with your music, I think like you really understand and know where you want to take it to.
Yes,
Uh,
absolutely. I feel like being intentional is huge for me too. Like as an artist, I want to make sure, all the connections I'm making and everything that I'm, posting or just sharing with people, whether it's private or, online. I just want to make sure it's genuine and it's authentic.
yeah, and it's you.
Yeah.
And make sure it's you. Because you gotta watch out. A lot of people on or social media, they're not really themselves on social media.
Mm-hmm.
That's like me when I'm posting. Like I used to make house music, and then now I'm like posting like dubstep or
Oh
like
yeah.
bass music, and then people are all like, "Oh, you make dubstep now?" I was all like, "No, just be myself. I'm
Yeah.
just making whatever's coming to my mind and
Oh.
what I'm feeling at that moment." Like you said, how you feel or how what you're feeling vibing to is
Yeah,
great.
yeah. Yeah, and I feel like, when we make songs as artists and we post it, it's gonna click with someone. Like, if it clicks with us, then there's at least one other person out there who it'll
It's
click
got to
with.
be the one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like when you're DJing, you're always there's always that one person that's going all out. The song just connects to that person.
Oh,
I
yeah.
feel like music just connects to everybody in different ways,
Mhm.
and like it's always gonna be impactful, like to that one person, in their own way. It's just what I love about music, just how seeing that how impactful and how like important music is to somebody.
Oh, yes.
And then I'm sure pause 100% there's gonna be that one person that's gonna love your song just as much as they love any other music. They're gonna love it just like that.
Yeah, and it's such a good feeling too, because then you feel like you're doing a service to the world, you're, like, contributing
Mm.
in a positive way.
Bringing good vibes, good positive your creative artwork into the world. That's
Uh-huh.
what it's about.
Yeah, I think about, times in my life where music was like felt like the only thing there for me, like it got me through a lot of dark times, even like happy times. So as an artist, I'm like, if I can make a song that gets someone through a hard time or, they love to play it when they're working out or doing whatever, like I feel like okay, like my job is done, like I did what I needed to do.
You pushed it out on them and then
Yeah.
made them feel great, good.
Mhm.
That's awesome. Well, thanks for taking the time to come out and talk about all the music. Everything you said was awesome. I
Thank
think everything you got going on, I know you got a lot of stuff
you. Yes.
happening, but I think you're really going for it. I think I see you doing a lot of stuff, a lot of good stuff in the future.
Thank you,
Uh,
Dimitri. I really appreciate it. And thank you for having me here too. I feel like this was so natural and free flowing, So I love that. I appreciate when I can be myself and talk
yeah,
about music and share my passion.
that's what I want to talk about is just how people could just be themselves about music and hear about their creative process and everything. And then you have all your stuff going on. I like hearing the different passions of people, how they like the different genres of music and stuff. And
And
I
thank you for allowing us to have a platform to share these things.
yeah.
Yeah, it's super important.
Yes. And I just want everybody to just keep creating, keep creating, don't stop. Don't listen to all the haters or just be yourself and create whatever you have in your mind and make that vision come true, you know? Well, thank you.
Yes, thank
And
you.
we'll be checking you out at San Francisco. You got that gig coming up.
Yes, you can find my YouTube, Instagram at Amayita808Mommy. You can also check out my website, AmayitaMusicEvents.com. And shout out to Hot Point Sessions.
Hey, yep, check her out on Instagram and all that. And we'll be back with another session later. Thank you for coming out. Everybody stay hot out there. Tune in, turn up. Thank you, everybody.